Hello and welcome to Grassy Smoked Foods. This show is about the home cook, so giving you the opportunity to do what we actually learn here. So for those who are out there that are just starting up or just want to try something different, we're going to do lots of different dishes. So we're going to do our meat, but we're also going to do a lot of different side dishes. All right, so on tonight's episode, we've actually got...
For our appetizers, we've got a smoked salmon pikelet served with a cream cheese and chive filling, blue cheese and corn dip, served with celery and gluten-free crackers, and smoked deviled eggs with two varieties, plain curry and a curry and avocado. For our entrees, we've got smoked lamb, tomato and feta sausages, chicken lollipops smoked with a tomato relish glaze, Jalapeño Poppers filled with cream cheese, tasty cheese and seasoned with Smoky Joe's rubs. For our main course, we've got beef short ribs and baby back ribs with baked potatoes, Mexican street corn, smoked asparagus, and broccoli salad with smoked bacon and sunflower seeds. For dessert, we've got smoked apple and cinnamon cake, served with ice cream and toffee and caramel topping. Grassy Smoked Foods celebrates Bendigo as the city of gastronomy. We pay our respects to elders, past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples watching from their country. We would like to acknowledge that this show is filmed on Dja Dja Wurrung country and recognise them as the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather and work.
Hopefully you enjoy the show. Please, if you do, like and share. We'd love to get this out to as many people as possible. So hope you enjoy and let's make some food. What we've got here is we've got some nice beef short ribs. Meats on Mitchell in Bendigo, great supplier. We've got these here. So we're going to put these on first. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to coat these in a nice rub. We're actually going to layer this a little bit. So we've got some fantastic rubs here from Smoky Joe's. What we're going to do today is we're going to use the chipotle lime and the lemon and herb just to give it a nice flavour. So we're going to use those two to start with. So what we're going to do is grab our knife. We're going to open up these beef shorties. Right. And beautiful knife here from Copley's Creations. And we come onto here and we're going to cut out all the hard fat. So you can see here all this hard fat. So what we want to do is we want to take that layer off. All right, always use the knife away from you because you don't want that. What we are going to do is we're going to keep this fat and we're actually going to render that down to make a nice tallow. All right, we don't want to take any of the meat off if we can. We can leave a little bit of the fat. All right, but we want to take the hard fat off. And you can see here, all right, the hard fat, that's the sort of stuff we want to try and get off. And this important part here is having a really sharp knife, because you don't want to try and hack away at it. This is absolutely beautiful and nice and sharp. So it just cuts through very easily. On the back here, you can see we've got some silver skin. All right, we want to remove that. So what we've got here, some nice paper towel, easy to do, all right, and a butter knife. So what we want to do is we want to get underneath that skin here. All right. Because it's slippery, it is a little bit hard to grab. So we use the paper towel to then grab that. All right, and we take that silver skin off. There are other techniques out there where you might score the silver skin and leave it on. I like to remove mine, but again, this is a personal preference for anybody. They can choose, they can try things. And this is the point of this show, is to actually try different things. All right, so we get rid of that. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to put this stuff into a container and put that on as well. But then we've got our nice beef shorties. What we're going to do is we're going to lay these with these two rubs. So the Smoky Joe's lemon and herb and the chipotle and lime. So we're going to have a nice citrus flavour to this. What we want to do is actually have a look at the two rubs, and what I like to do is use the coarse rub first. So the lemon and herb is a little bit thicker. So what we do here, put a nice coating down. I want to make sure we get a nice coating here all the way around. Put a little bit on the bottom, it's not going to make much difference. All right, so that gives us that nice lemon and herb flavour. All right, what we want to do here is we want to do a nice coating of this. Try and sprinkle from a bit of a height, all right? That way you get a more even coating as it's going around. So we've got a nice beef short ribs coated all the way around. So we're going to set this at 135 degrees, right? And we're going to put this on. This will slow cook for around 10 hours. So we're putting this on early so that when we do the rest of the food, it should all come out at around the same time. What we're going to do is we're going to spritz the ribs, right? And we're going to use a combination of 50-50 of the Harcourt pear cider vinegar and some water. And we're going to spritz that every half an hour for the first few hours to make sure that it comes up with a nice juicy piece of meat. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to get just this little bit of the harder fat, and we're going to throw this into the container. And we're just going to put that into the grill there beside. And what that will do is that will blend down into a really nice tallow. So I'll show you the tallow later, but it's going to be absolutely delicious. And what we'll do is we'll pour that back over the meat to give it that nice juicy finish. With the beef short ribs, we also want to monitor them. So what we've got here is we've got a meter device. Fantastic device here. It's a little metal probe. And this actually connects through to the phone on an app. So I can actually check the temperature as we're going along in the cook. So we use this, we put this in range. Okay, so, and then we look at putting this in. And you want to try and pick the fattest part of the meat to put this in. All right, it needs to be inserted right in there. Go past the line that's on the meter. We'll be able to make sure we monitor our cook, get it to the right temperature. So we'll set that up now on the phone. First thing we're going to do today is the broccoli salad. So because of the broccoli salad, it does need to sit in the fridge generally for around 24 hours. We've got about 12. So we're going to do that first so we can sit in the fridge and rest, ready for dinner. We've got some bacon. Now we need to smoke up this bacon. This is from KR Castlemaine. So just down the road in Castlemaine, All right, fantastic local product. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this onto a skillet. All right, and we're going to heat this up on the smoker. All right, and put our bacon in there and brown that off. All right, as you can see, we've already got our beef ribs on there, cooking nice and slow. We're going to move this skillet over the holes at the end here where the heat can come through. That'll heat up that skillet. We'll give that a little bit of time to heat up, and then we'll pop this bacon in and start cooking. Right, so now that that's heated up, what we're going to do is we're going to pop that bacon in. We did add a little bit of oil just to get that going. Right, and we're going to pop our bacon in. And we'll stir that round to get that nicely cooked. Obviously that skillet has started to heat up, so you don't want to use your bare hands with that, but make sure that you've got some heat-proof gloves and so that you can actually grab that skillet out. The other thing is we've got a nice trivet here so that we don't actually burn anything on the table. Now, you don't actually have to cook the broccoli. All right, so this broccoli is from the local IGA. All right, and what we want to do is try and cut that down as close to the heads as we can. All right, now we've got 2 heads here. All right, so what we're looking to do here is cut these up into nice fine pieces. Okay, added into the mix here, we're going to add in some celery and some spring onions. Throw that into our mix. All right, I'm going to add some celery. Again, this is all purchased through the local IGA. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make some sides for our dip. All right, so what we want to do here, all right, is cut these into nice sticks. Now these are things you can do beforehand, so that if you are entertaining, you don't have to do this when someone gets there and take up valuable time that you could be talking to someone. All right, let's go check on that bacon, see how it's coming along. Starting to brown up nicely, but you can smell that smoke flavour going through the bacon. All right, we've got our bacon sitting there, getting that smoke flavour through. We're going to add some sunflower kernels into the mix, all right, and they will also get that smoke flavour. All right, we'll give those a good mix around. All right, and as that bacon cooks off as well, those sunflower seeds will get that flavour. Into our mix here, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to add some mayonnaise. So we've got the classic mayonnaise here. All right, and we need about half of this into here. Once we've added in the mayonnaise, we also want to add in some vinegar and some sugar. What we can do now is mix that around. All right, I'm going to get that right down deep into the dish, mixing those ingredients up nice. As you can see here, the bacon and sunflower seeds are ready. So we're going to add those into the mix. Alright, so now we've got that there. What we're going to do, we're going to give that another mix through. Alright, and we're going to top that with a little bit more of the mayonnaise. Alright, so you get that nice coating over it. We'll make sure the ingredients are mixed through nicely. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cover that, throw it in the fridge, and come back to that one later. So that's done. That just needs to rest, and it is one of the best salads I've had. For one of our appetizers, we're going to do a smoked salmon pikelet with a cream cheese and chive filling. What we're going to do is we're going to do our pikelets. Alright, so we're just looking for just a very simple savoury pikelet. Alright, what we need to do first though is we need to get some melted butter. So we've got some butter here. We need about 100 grams, so that's 125 there. So I'm going to go about here. Alright, we're going to cut through. Now we need this melted. So what I'm going to do is just chop this into pieces like this. Alright, and we're going to pop this into the ramekin. Alright, spreading that out nicely like that, so it should melt reasonably quickly. We'll put that in the microwave for about 30 to 40 seconds. So I'll hand that over there, and that should come back to us very shortly. Now, as I said before, we are doing fully gluten-free, so we do have some flour here which is gluten-free, so we're going to use that in our mix. Now, we don't need a lot of pikelets, so what we want to do here is just do enough mixture for the salmon. So we're going to add 2 cups of flour. To add a bit of a savoury flavour to it, we're going to use our Parmesan cheese. Alright, and this is finely grated Parmesan cheese. Alright. And that should give it a nice savoury flavour. And we're going to add a little bit of salt in here as well. And we're going to go for the smoked salt here. So Smoky Joe's loaded salt. Alright, so the smoked flavour here. Awesome product, so let's get into that one. Add a bit of that for flavour. Again, you don't need a lot, just enough to give it that little bit of flavour. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add 2 eggs. Alright, these are Keen's free range eggs from Hutley, right here in the heart of Bendigo. Alright, so we want to mix those up. So that goes into our mix. As I said, we don't need a lot. Alright, and we've just got our butter arrived back, so we'll grab our butter to put into there as well. Alright, and we'll mix that through. Now we won't do this out here on the grill, we'll actually go inside and cook that up there. We're going to add in our milk now. Again, we just want a nice consistency coming through. So just add a little bit of milk at a time till we absorb all of that flour. So what we're going to do here is, over a medium heat, is we're going to cook some small pikelets. All right, we're going to start with just putting some butter out, and then it doesn't matter if they're not into shape, just putting a few pikelets there, wait for the one side to cook, and then flip them over. So for the smoked salmon, what we've got here is a little barbie mat, really good for when you've got small pieces. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to thinly slice the salmon. So we've got a nice piece of salmon here from Meats on Mitchell. Right, so what we want to do is, first of all, we want to get rid of that skin. All right. Okay, so we just want to bring the skin up there. Again, really sharp knives are important. So this knife here is from Bailey's Custom Products. All right, so we want to make sure get that skin, as much skin without getting the salmon as well. We want to have thinly sliced sheets. All right, and we're going to lay them on this sheet because this sheet will actually go onto the barbecue. All right, so we're just going to spread this out on here. Make sure there's a nice thin layer, because what we want to do is we want to cook it reasonably quickly. We just want a light smoke. All right, we don't want to cook it right through. We just want to get that flavour in there. So we're going to move this over to the grill now. All right, we're going to create some space. Going to move our tallow down. And then our salmon will go here. So you can see on the Z grill, right, the smoke comes through, but then comes out here. So this is a great opportunity here for the smoke to go straight over the salmon. So the salmon's been on for about 10 minutes, so we don't want to overcook it. So we want to bring that off now. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring that off and throw it back into the fridge so it can be ready to be constructed later. So as you can see here, nice smoked salmon. Right, it's only thinly sliced, so it's not going to take much time. So give that a little bit of a time to cook. We'll give it a little bit of a try. That smoke flavour really coming through. So we're going to throw this back into the fridge and we'll construct our pikelets later. Also, for our dip, we do want to use corn. So we want corn in our dip. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put this on a bit early because it will take a little bit of time for that to get ready. So peel the corn and then throw it straight onto the smoker. The next part, we're going to do the cream cheese filling. All right, so what we're going to have here is we're going to have some Philadelphia cream cheese, nice and soft, because you want to be able to mix it around. We're going to get our Philadelphia cream cheese. All right, and we're going to use about half of it. All right, so we want that in there. All right, we're going to add some chives. And now, for a bit of flavour, we're going to go back here to our rubs. And Smoky Joe's, I'm actually going to use the loaded salt citrus twist. I reckon that'll give it a real nice flavour. So, Smoky Joe's rubs, available online. Have a look, check them out. All right, we just want a little bit. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to give that a bit of a mix around. All right, make sure we soften that up, get that cream cheese going. All right, you can see there it's just really softening up, and that's what we're after.
mix that around. That'll go nicely.
For the next part, we're going to do our dip. Okay, now we've got our soft blue cheese. All right, nice and creamy. We're going to throw this onto the grill. All right, we're going to pop it down this end. All right, a little bit further away from the heat. It'll just allow that smoke to go over the top of it. All right, so we're going to use the blue cheese that we've rendered down to a soft cheese. We're going to use some sour cream. We're going to use a lemon and the corn. And we're going to mix that together to make a nice chunky dip. We're going to have a look at our corn and see how that's going. And that is done. So that's beautiful. All right, so that's coming off nice and hot. So we're going to put that down. We'll let that cool down a little bit while we do the other parts. We're going to start off with some light sour cream. And we want probably half of that. So, all right, so that's a good start there. All right, so now we want some lemon juice. So what we want to do, cut that up, we'll quarter it. What we want to do is we want to add a little bit of flavour to it. So we're going to use our citrus twist salt again, just again, that little sprinkle. All right, just to give it a nice little flavour. Now, we've got our blue cheese here, which is melted down. What we want to do is we want to get our fork. And we want to add that into the mix. All right, so that's going to have that real bitey flavour and taste. So we're going to mix that together. All right, you can see the flavour bouncing out at you. All right, so you can see nice and soft. Okay, now we're going to add the corn. Alright, now we're going to add this corn. So we're just going to cut this off the cob. What we want to do is we want to break it up so you get nice fine pieces. Alright, grab this in, throw that into our dip. Alright, so we're going to mix that through. Alright, so that flavour comes through. Alright, nice chunky dip. Alright, what we're going to do now is we're going to put this into some pots, cover it, put it in the fridge, ready for tonight. Right, so we're going to start now with our smoked salmon and cream cheese pikelets. Alright, so what we've got here, I'm going to lay these pikelets out. Alright, I reckon that might be enough for tonight. Alright, is our cream cheese spread with a nice salmon piece. There is our smoked salmon pikelets with a cream cheese and chive filling. For the next part here, we're going to do some deviled eggs. Now, we've already hard boiled these eggs. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut these open. All right, we're going to put the yolk, that bowl, and have these ready for filling. We're going to use some more of the classic mayo. All right, so we're going to mix that with our egg yolk. We're going to put in some Keen's curry powder. Just a little bit to give some flavour. All right, and then we will mix that through. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to divide these eggs into 2 batches. All right, so we should have 8 on each side, and we're going to, normally you could pipe these in to make them look better. All right, and what we're going to do now is we're actually going to mix in some avocado. All right, so we're going to mix in this avocado into the egg yolk mixture, just for a different flavour. Again, you've got to look at your audience to see what they like. Now we're going to give these a light smoke, just to give them that little bit of flavour. Just before we go to put these into the smoker, just a dash of paprika over the top. Now we're going to give these a light smoke, just to give them that little bit of flavour. So I'm going to grab those deviled eggs off. I'm going to bring the platter over. Grab out some tongs. Alright, so here we have our appetizers. So our smoked deviled eggs, we've got avocado and plain version, which are curried, and our salmon, and our dips with our celery sticks. So we're going to take those in to start with, and hopefully our guests enjoy. Alright, we'll be back soon. For our next dish, right, one of our appetizers, we've got these wonderful sausages. These are lamb, feta, and sun-dried tomato sausages. What we're going to do is we're going to pop these straight onto the grill and let them smoke. What we're going to do now is we're going to slice up our lamb, feta, and sun-dried tomatoes sausages. And what we're going to do here is we're going to cut these on the diagonal, and you see the juices, see the feta oozing out. Lots of filling. Alright, again, these are from Meats on Mitchell. You can see sun-dried tomatoes. So this is the lamb, feta, and sun-dried tomato sausage. Whoa, you can really taste that feta. That's really nice. Need another piece. our next dish here is for one of our entrees. We're going to do stuffed jalapeno poppers. All right, so we've got our streaky bacon here from Meats on Mitchell. What we're going to do first is we're going to just do our mix in the middle. Okay, so we're going to do some Philadelphia cream cheese. All right, this has been sitting out so it's nice and soft. All right, and we're going to use about half of this. All right, so that's going to go into there. We're going to do a sprinkle of cheese. And we're going to add some spice to that as well. So what we're looking at here is a chipotle and lime from Smoky Joe's Rubs. This one here, the chipotle really helps with the jalapenos. So we'll look at that one. All right, again, just a sprinkle to give it a bit of flavour. You don't want too much because it'll be overpowering. And yeah, some of my family don't like the spices too much. So I'm going to get Imogen, who's my helper. She's going to go and pop this in the microwave, mix it around, and just reduce that down to make it easier for stuffing. For the next part here, what we're going to do is we're going to get our jalapenos. All right, we're going to core these down the middle. All right, now depending on how hot you like things, all right, we're going to core this out like a boat. As I said, you want to get rid of that membrane and the seeds if you don't want heat. I said these seeds here, really good to throw back into the mix, right? Because that'll add a little bit of heat. But again, make sure you cater for your audience. And as I said, my family don't like a lot of heat, so we'll be won't be putting those back into the mix. So we're doing 5 jalapenos here, which cut into half makes up 10. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got our jalapeno shells, right, and we've got our lovely mix here. Right, we're going to use this to stuff our jalapenos. All right, you want a nice serving, fill that gap. So for this next stage, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our streaky bacon from Meats on Mitchell, all right, and we're going to wrap our jalapenos. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're actually going to use this. We're going to cut these in half, all right, and then each one of these will wrap around our jalapeno. All right, we're going to use the skewers. Put it straight through, make sure it gets through the wraparound part, right? And then what we're going to do, when we put them on the grill, the skewer actually holds it in place. We always make sure that the cheese side is up, right, so that the cheese doesn't melt through the grill. Alright, so the next dish that we're going to do is one of our entrees. Now, got these chicken drumsticks, fresh from Meats on Mitchell. What we're going to do with these, grab some gloves. Alright, so these chicken lollipops, they are hard work, but they are so fun. So what we've got here is we've got the drumstick. What we're going to do is we're going to strip this part of it back. Alright, so you can see here, we just want to go round in a circle. Alright, cut through there. Alright, you see all these tendons? Alright, that's what we want to get rid of. Alright, so we want to pull those out. Again, you might need some paper towel for this one. Alright, because otherwise it will be chewy. So we want to get rid of those out of there, or as much as possible. Alright, so just make sure you cut through there, getting rid of those tendons. Alright, so the idea is that we strip that back, right back here to the knuckle, in finger in, alright, and you'll hear a little bit of a pop. Alright, you hear that? Again, just clearing up these tendons. So being able to pull them through. Alright, so then we pull that skin down. Really want to clear out the bone. Now there's one bone in here, and you'll see here. See how it's really sharp in there? What you want to do is try and get as low into that as you can. Alright, and break it off. Alright, so that doesn't affect that. Then what we want to do, a little bit of excess skin there, so we just got to take that off. What we want to do is we want a nice flat bottom, so we're just going to chop through. Now I might grab a different knife. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to chop through to make that a nice flat spot. Now we're going to use another one of Bailey's knives here. Alright, so Copley's Creations, look it up on his Facebook. We'll put the link in the YouTube. Alright, so what we want to do is a nice cut through there, right, so that we get a nice flat spot. That is cut nice, so when we put it down, it sits there nicely. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a few of these. So you just got to make sure that as you're going along, check for the tendons, try and remove as many as you can, and also look for that bone. Removing that bone is important. The next stage of this is to put on a rub. Now the rub we've chosen here, Smoky Joe's. Alright, and we're doing a Korean barbecue, so this should go really well, and we want to coat those really nicely. So what we're looking to do is get them on their side. Make sure you open the right one. And again, just a generous sprinkle, coating all sides. Alright, what we're going to do now is we're going to put these chicken lollipops onto the grill. Now they'll go on there for about an hour, right, until they're 74 degrees, and once they're 74 degrees, we'll put a glaze over the top, finish them off just 5-10 minutes, get that glaze to really come out. Okay, for the next part, we're ready to put on the glaze for the chicken. So we've just done a check here. Sitting at 74.6, 7, 8, 9. So once it gets above 74, right, for 2 minutes, then your chicken is safe. What we're going to do here, put some of this tomato relish on. Right, might take this over here so you can see it better. Right, what we're going to do is put this tomato relish on and glaze that all the way around. Right, give it a nice coating, because that's going to glaze up beautifully. So the jalapenos and the chicken lollipops look like they're ready to come off. So we're going to grab those up and let's have a look. Alright, so here's the entrees. Now what we can do here is we don't need these skewers in anymore. Alright, and that'll allow them to sit flat. Now it's time to smoke up some ribs. Alright, so Meats on Mitchell, these are from, fantastic place. Baby back ribs, gives you that bit more of a meat in there, so you can get your US style ribs, but these ones here got a lot more meat on them. Right, and what we want to do is we want to make sure we cook this so that it actually stays on the bone. So when you're slicing it, it doesn't just fall apart. So we're actually going for a 2, 1.5 method. So 2 hours on a smoke. So we're going to put a rub over this and smoke it. Then we're going to put it in for another hour with face down, right? And put that with a butter and sugar glaze. And then we're going to flip it back over with a nice sticky rub and some glaze to go over the top. All right, and we'll finish that off about half an hour, 40 minutes. All right, that should come out absolutely perfect. It won't fall off the bone. All right, we'll chop into it and see how we go. What we want to do, all right, get our rib out. All right, and we want to see hard fat here. So again, we just want to remove that hard fat. Alright, it's not going to taste nice, so we just do that. Alright, cut that down. As you can see, it's all just fat. Alright, and trim that up nice. Okay, don't have to remove all the fat, but obviously, yeah, you get that hard fat that's not going to render down. On the other side, we do have some silver skin. So what we want to do is, again, we want to grab our butter knife. Right, we want to just get under that membrane. It's probably easier to do on a bone. Alright, so if you can get under there, you see you can break that up. Now, this is really slippery, so what we want to do, grab some paper towel. Right, and that will help us grip it. Alright, so we get into there. As you can see, get a bit more grip. It's going to come up in pieces. It's alright. That happens from time to time.
Right, so we're going to remove that. Get rid of that. Alright, just check to see if there's no hard bits on this side, which there's not. Alright, and we've got a second one as well, because we do like our ribs. Now some people do score this. Alright, so some people don't remove this membrane. Just gives it a bit chewy there, but some people, if you score it, and when we say score, we're talking about using a sharp knife, right, and really getting in and cutting that up like that. Right, and you can see that opens it up. So lots of different techniques. Try them, see how you go with each different one. Alright, and if you've got a little bit of cell skin at the end you can't get rid of, just score it up. Alright, so that'll break that down. So we're going to do up our ribs now. We're going to rub them with a couple of flavours. Right, I do like to layer the meat, so we're going to do one here. We're going to do an Outback Firecracker. They're the two rubs, all from Smoky Joe's rubs. So yeah, for a fantastic range of rubs, Smoky Joe's is the place to be. So here we've got the Outback and the Firecracker. So this is the Outback rub from Smoky Joe's. What we're going to do is we're going to do a nice sprinkling of this over the rib. Give it a good coating. Try and get down those sides. Use your hand. Right, pat that on. Right, you want to make sure you cover that nicely. Alright. What we're going to do is we're going to flip that over, right, and cover the top as well. Now, some people use a binder. You don't have to. Right, it will actually work without a binder, and I find that you don't need it. But there are good mustard binders out there, or just some mustard itself. Right, so that's nice there. Nice and coarse there, and then we're going to hit it with a bit of the firecracker, so just add a little bit of heat to it. Right, again, do it from a height, so you can see that sprinkle. Right, it gives it a nice even coating. Again, you want to go down those sides. Make sure you cover all of the meat. Alright, so that's there. That's the Outback and the Firecracker. So, should be fantastic. For the next piece, right, we're actually going to go for a different flavour. We're going to go the honey hog, and then topped with the pixie dust. Alright, so another two good flavours, great flavour combinations. Works really well with pork. So the honey hog, that'll give you a nice sweet but smoky flavour. Alright, all of these products are gluten free. So as I said, we are catering tonight for a celiac person. Alright, so you get that on there nice. As I said, make sure you get down the sides there. And as you can see here, meat's on Mitchell. See the thickness of the meat there, away from the bone? Right, that's really good for a rib. Alright, so you get that sprinkle right. Turn it over. A nice coating over there. Again, make sure you get down those sides. So all of these products are Australian made. Right, so finish it off with the pixie dust. Again, make sure we get all sides. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put these on the smoker. Alright, when we put them on the smoker, what we want to do is we want to bunch them up. Okay, so it keeps that meat nice and close so that it doesn't overcook it. So we're going to smoke these for a couple of hours, and when they're ready, we'll get them off.
The ribs are ready to come off. Alright, these are the baby back ribs. What we're going to do, we're going to put a couple of layers of foil down. Alright, so we want to get that out. Do a nice sprinkle of brown sugar. We use some of that butter we had earlier. So we're going to cut this up into nice pieces. Alright. And we're going to spread this along the rib, just like that. Last thing we're going to do, got some beautiful honey here from Collins Honey. Alright, so we're going to put a sprinkle of that over it as well. So Collins Honey, Bendigo product. So fantastic there. This is the Hatter Mallee version. So great product here. All right, so we're going to grab our first lot of ribs. Now I'm going to grab some gloves for this. So it's our first lot of ribs here. All right, you can see that there, nice and tender. All right, so we're going to put that, you want that facing down, so you've got the bone side up. All right, and then we're going to wrap that. All right. Now I'm going to go sideways as well. So that's nice and tight. Right. And we're going to throw that back on the smoker. This time we're going to have meat side down. Right. The other one's ready to come off as well. So what you can do there is you can repeat the process for the second set of ribs. The ribs are just ready to come out. We're going to do that, the final glaze, and then they'll go back on for about half an hour. All right, so this is going to be quite hot when I open this up, and you'll see the steam come out. All right, and have a look at those juices. So you can see they're still nice and firm. All right, what we're going to do now, we're going to create a little boat. All right, because this is going to go back into the smoker with that top side exposed, the meat side. All right, we're going to lather on Barbecue Mafia. All right. Their sticky rib glaze, absolutely love it. Alright, so I use this one all the time. So we want to spread that over all of the meat. Nice thick layer. Put that back on now for about half an hour so you get caramelisation on the top. Alright, same as the other one. It's going to go back in for half an hour. As part of the main meal, we're also going to do double smoked baked potatoes. Alright, so we've got these good sized potatoes here. Right, and what we want to do is we want to smoke them as they are at the moment, right, so that they'll go straight onto the grill, and then in about 45 minutes time we'll actually bring them back. What we're going to do here is just pour that tallow over the top. before we wrap it up. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to use this other board, bring this across. Alright, so I've got the chicken one, it's going to be washed. So now what we're going to do is let this rest, okay? So I'm going to take out the meter probe, alright, and we're going to cover this in foil, alright, put it into our campion over here, which has been heated up with the kettle so that it's nice and warm. We'll wrap this into a towel and then that will be sitting there and rest, and that can rest for up to a couple of hours, and then we'll come back and see how this carves up. While we're going, I'm just going to cut down this asparagus. Now we're just going to add our asparagus in here. All right, we've got our skillet here. Might need to just trim this a little further. All right, so we make this pan size now. Put that into the skillet, and we'll get some smoked asparagus as well. Alright, so the next one we're going to do is the corn. And then we'll pop these onto the smoker. Alright, this next side dish is actually the Mexican street corn. Now this is courtesy of Barbecue Asylum. If you're looking for some training, Barbecue Asylum, they are fantastic. They'll teach you how to do things. They'll be able to show you, you'll be able to eat the food. Fantastic course, goes around Victoria. I think they're based just out of Geelong, but they travel around Bendigo, Ballarat, all the way around. So if you're looking for a great course or something for your partner, then there, it is a great gift. I got my first one as a gift, and I went back for the second one, and there's now a third one. So look them up, Barbecue Asylum, absolutely fantastic to deal with, Shane and Chloe. So, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here with some sour cream. Into the sour cream we're going to put some mayonnaise. So to add to our mix now, we're going to use the Smoky Joes, right? Cherry chipotle. Just going to give it that nice bit of Mexican flavour, that little bit of kick, and that'll really toddy off our corn. And to go onto the corn after we're finished is the Parmesan. So Shane didn't forget it this time, so there it is. All right, so we're going to give that a mix around. What we do now is get the corn. We want to coat that nicely all the way around. Rub it around. Nice thick coating. Alright, so to go with the Mexican street corn, what we're going to do is we've got our asparagus, which is beautifully smoked. Alright, and just to finish off these baked potatoes, nice dollop of sour cream. Alright, so we've got our ribs here, they've just come off the grill. Alright, we're going to take them out. We're going to put them bone side up. Alright, and just pour some of those juices back over. Same with these ones. Those juices. To cut through these ribs, we've got Copley Creations. Right, this splitter will go through it. Alright, what we want to try and do is we want to try and find the centre of the bones. Right, get there, find that, and slice through. Alright, so you can see here, alright, it's not falling off the bone. Alright, it's actually still attached, so bite into that. Absolutely delicious, but you can see it's not falling off the bone. It is absolutely beautifully smoked. Alright, we'll cut some more up for our guests. Absolutely beautiful. See that smoke ring around it? That's what you're looking for. That's cooked to perfection. Beautiful knife here from Copley Creations. Right, if you want, you can do double ribs as well. So instead of just going down each bone, you can go down every second one. Alright, and there we have it. Alright, so we've had our beef ribs sitting there resting. We're going to take those out now, slice them up and get them ready to serve. Here's our beef shorties. So again, using the knife from Copley's Creations, we're going to go down between the bones. And look at that. Oh, the juice is spectacular. So this is the beef shorty, absolutely sensational. It just literally just pulls apart. And that lemon and herb, really nice. So for the next part, we're going to move on to our desserts. Okay, hard-cut apples. What we're going to do is we're going to put these in and we're going to smoke them. All right, and so that's part of our dessert. We're going to do a smoked apple and cinnamon cake. Now, Harcourt is located in central Victoria, just out of Bendigo, so part of the city of gastronomy. Harcourt local apples, found at your IGA. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to put them into our tray. Alright, so they'll smoke up nice there. Now some people might peel these, but I like a bit of the roughage. Alright, so these will go into the smoker. Smoke away. They'll need to be in there for about an hour. So yeah, it'll come back. They should be nice and soft, but they'll have that infused smoke into them as well.
Hi, I'm Imogen and we're going to make a gluten-free apple and cinnamon cake. We're going to start by preheating the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Fan force. Then we're going to combine all the dry ingredients into a bowl. Now we're going to cream the butter and the sugar together in a large mixing bowl. Now we're going to beat in the eggs one at a time. Add in your vanilla extract. Now you want to combine your wet ingredients with your dry ingredients, alternating with the milk. Combine in your smoked apples. Line your pan with baking paper. together sugar and cinnamon in a small bowl to make a topping. Pour your batter into the pan, alternating with the topping. Put it in the oven for about 45 to 50 minutes until your cake is cooked.
We're going to serve our cake with vanilla ice cream, and we're using the toffee and caramel sauce from Pud.
Rightio, thank you very much, everyone. That brings us to the end of the show for today. Thank you very much to Meats on Mitchell for all of the meat. Absolutely brilliant products, fresh, absolutely delicious, and perfect for the grill and smoker. To Smoky Joe's Rubs, absolutely brilliant. Love the flavours, love the variety. So yeah, make sure you check out Smoky Joe's. They've got rubs, they've got sauces, they've got everything you need. To Bailey and Copley Creations, check out his Facebook, right? These wonderful knives, they did a treat. So thank you very much to Bailey. To the City of Greater Bendigo, also like to thank you, the City of Gastronomy. So great opportunity here to highlight the locality. So we've used a lot of local products. So Harcourt, Pud is going to go onto our dessert. So we've got the smoked apples. We're doing the cake at the moment inside. We'll show you that one later. The Pud will go on top. So that's a toffee caramel. So that's going to really bring out the flavours of the smoked apple. To Collins Honey and to Wild and Tamed. So some great products there. If you're looking for where you're able to get those, you can contact them directly or also through the information centre at Bendigo. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please like, share, let everyone else know. Love to hear your comments. If you've got recipe ideas that you want me to try, send them through. Really love to hear from you. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Calling all barbecue, grill and smoking enthusiasts. Meats on Mitchell is the place to go in Bendigo. They cater for the low and slow, stocking a wide range of briskets, ribs, chicken, pork, bacon and much more. stocking an excellent range of rubs and sauces. Whether you're new to smoking or a seasoned professional, Meats on Mitchell is the place to get all of your needs.